Ahem. It is time. I have zoomed in. I've enhanced. Time for a named character AOS tier list. Unky Heywoah is X good. We will answer this once and for all. Getting some footy-cooty vibes. A little bit, yeah. A little bit of footy-cooty vibes. To me, it's much more Akira. It's like 88.8% Akira, and then 12% footy-cooty and maybe JoJo or something. Ahem, I would say. And let's talk about real issues. Mold lines, am I right? Yeah, you know what? Time for a relatable meme. When you start painting a model, and halfway through painting it, you find a mold line. Oh, deep depression.
Why are we still here? Just to suffer? Every night.
Every night. And he's got that, like, wavery voice. Anyway. In Australia, you have to put a coin in to unlock the cart, which you only get back when you return it. Such a nanny state. Don't step on me, cart. Isn't that the company choosing to do that, though, not the state? And wouldn't they never pay, as a company, to implement a system like that unless so many people were stealing carts that it became beneficial for them to do so, and so the people are once again to blame? I don't know. Maybe it's an ordinance, but... But yeah, you're excited to paint space sharks and an anachronistic vampiress. Gave one of your sergeants a tooth necklace, trying not to go overboard with the tribal bone themes. No problem. You can go all in on bone if you want. Don't read too much into that. Is this rules? Mold lines inside of filigree? Oh no. It's not stealing cards, it's having to pay people to collect them. And here we go, Tarkin Rex finding the truth of the matter. This one's for you. However, if you were in America, you would just pay people fucking nothing to do it. Best of both worlds. Anyway. Named characters AOS. OP. Actually overpowered. OP, please nerf. S tier. Good. Playable. Games Workshop, please. And finally, trash. Hero tier list based in rules and play. Minimum underworlds used. Yeah, we avoided almost all the underworlds because this would add like 50 fucking choices to this tier list. It would make it even huger, and I mean, most of them suck anyway, so who cares? Apologies, Underworlds fans. What the fuck is the blur? Actually, true. You know what? SG Arcade, what's this? What's this blur? What is the blur? Is this like too hot for TV? Whoops, can't show that in a Christian stream. The blur was an error on Gorslav, but he's added elsewhere. Okay, so the blur is just trash. Or rather, I'll just keep the blur down here. It doesn't count. It doesn't count. No problem. So, let's see. I'm going to get out of the way the really quick and easy ones. The really quick and easy ones. Or do you... Oh, man, how should we do this? Because I'm prepared. And by I'm prepared, I mean SGRK is prepared. Look at this. Look at this glory. It even got some custom art. God damn. This is some good fucking work. What are we going on here? Rules or looks? If it was just looks, this would be very fast and easy. I feel like it's rules. SG Arcade went and found the War Scroll for fucking everything. So it's gotta be rules. Looks like we got some rules here. What's the hot shit? What's the just shit? Define your terms and do what's true. Yep, so. Ahem. As with always, we have to start by defining our limits. What is a representative of each tier, particularly the top and the bottom? And then we can fill in from there. Rules, you put them in there, it must be unique. All right. Now, whomst is actually overpowered, like the top of the tier, the top of the mountain. Who's actually the best? Possibly too good, unique named character in the entire game, and has been since they were printed. The answer is obviously Morathi. Simply the best. Forever. Defining criteria for being the best in the whole game, OP. And has been pretty much since she came out. Now, as far as trash is concerned, I think it would be a little unfair if we chose some, like, minute foot hero who wasn't very good. That doesn't quite count, right? Whomst is simply god-awful, and kind of always has been. We were just talking about Lotan, Logmin Man. Lotan was indeed a joke in 1st edition, and even in 2nd edition, he was pretty bad. But it's possible he's no longer pretty bad. Even today, you could play Lotan, and I don't know that he would be trash. He would be like, GW, please. Karnak? Karnak used to be a general of the army, and then you could have dogs as battle line. He was, like, played before. Although, actually, right now, I don't know. $100 million. You have to make your own base for him. Arguably can't play him, but technically you can. You kind of have to ask your TO, and then your TO will let you. I don't think he belongs in trash. I actually don't think it... Because, like, yeah, he's really expensive. How can you even... It's almost like, how can you even say what you should get for 1,000 points? Or 1250, I mean. What should even the model do? Win the game for you? He might be able to. No, they don't make a base for him. You have to build your own. And depending on who your TO is, you can't play him. But you probably can. I've seen him play before. I've seen him at tournaments, rather. So I don't even know what to do with Vorgoroth. He shouldn't exist? Well, definitely not, but, I mean, here we are. He's also like Vorgoroth is a tacit admission that Games Workshop does not just do things to make money. Because if they did, they would have made this thing that cost them so much time and development money. They would have made it like a Chaos Dragon that you could play in any Chaos army, but nope, they made it specifically a Khorne one. Like choosing to just leave money on the table. And the rider looks awful. They stopped selling him. Did they stop selling him? Those TOs are just wrong. It's not part of the GHB battle pack. It's the core rules battle pack. Yes, agree, Rhinoceros Eruption. That's what I mean. You do have to ask your TO, but they should say yes, because the 1K limit thing is only core rules. It's not GHB. I don't know what to do. I feel bad for the poor guy. Let's find a like an even more obviously shit thing. Although he's kind of there. Cuz he can like kill a whole bunch of stuff, right? Maybe, you know what? He's like, GW, please. What are you doing? What are you doing? Kragnos? No, Kragnos after the buff is Kragnos got the juice. He got the big juice. Kragnos is actually playable now. All of his abilities are good. It's just that, like, he's capable of dying to mortal wounds. That's his only downside. And a lot of stuff has that downside. What's the red gorilla? That is Cilia Anfilgrim or something like that. hold up. In fact, I can tell you probably. I see. It used to have a worse model. Yeah, Scylla and Phil and Fingrim. I was close. 8859. 2d6 attacks on 4s and 3s. 2, 3, 3, 1. When rolling to determine the attack's characteristic, add 1 to the roll for each wound allocated to this model. 8 wounds and a 5-up save. So you're dead in any combat you enter, and this won't matter. Is eligible to fight within 8. Oh, that's actually good. This is a good ability. Eligible to fight within 8 means you might not be dead, actually. And it can unbind 1 spell. Chaos, somehow this is immortal. Alright. I believe you, I guess. How much is Scylla? How much do you cost? Scylla. 110 liter. Would you ever play this thing? I don't know. Yeah, he's like a Khorne and Chaos spawn. And for 110, like, he can sort of bestial leap in, I guess. He's bad. This guy sucks. Okay, so trash. There we go. Easy. What about playable? Oh, you know what? Let's just do this. Wait, named unique characters. I forgot. I was gonna say Gordrak. But actually Gordrak isn't nearly as good as Megaboss on Maw Crusher. Vandus Hammerhand, that might be a good one. But the 8-inch Pylon? The 8-inch Pylon is a good ability. It's just you don't want anything else he's doing, so just don't play that. Changeling might be, yeah. It's like playable, but not quite like good. Playable is still very reasonable. I would say that it's like viable. You have to consider their own army too. Otherwise, I would put him here. But considering his own army, probably not. Hot take, Brock Grunson. He's just aggressively okay in every way. Yeah, and he doesn't fit the army he's in. The guy from The Room is trash? Do you mean... Oh, I can't remember his name, actually. Reichenor's a good one. Honestly, Bastion Carthalos is playable, I would say. Keep in mind, these tiers are going to fill up, and a lot of you are being correct here. But, so, Bastion Carthalos is playable. The other 300-point dudes are better than him, but he's not like bad. He's just playable. You can play him if he's your pet unit. And Gavriel Sureheart, I don't know. Is Gavriel Sureheart, like, good still? People used to run him in, like, drop and pop lists in 2nd edition that weren't very good, but you're probably thinking of the new guy. Gav is bad, yeah. In good is Scarbrand? Scarbrand is good. This dude is good. Gutrock D Spume. Maybe Kragnos, although I don't know. He's like halfway between good and playable. Same with Alariel. They're kindred spirits, these two. Alariel and Kragnos. People who everyone think is worse than they are, because things have changed since they last looked. That's Captain Spume. Yeah, Captain Gutrot D Spume. I could say that this guy's good. I could say that this guy's good. You want to know where in the world the Van Denses are? This guy? Oh, that guy. Yeah, he's good. He's not S tier, because he actually loses to top table armies. But he crushes, like, armies that aren't very good, like mine. In essence, he's good. So good, playable. Games Workshop, please, trash. What's S tier, but not OP? Who's just, like, solidly S tier, you always want to play him in your army, but you don't necessarily have to. Maybe like Manfred or something like that. Yeah, Kairos is a good one as well. Radukar the Based is probably a good one as well. Gotrik's Secret is out, just avoid him. Yeah, if you can. Lord Croak maybe. Teclis is a weird one. Teclis is like something that you have to... I think, honestly, I might put Kairos here. I'm thinking Kairos in the S tier. Oh, no, you're right. Yep. You're entirely correct. How could I have forgotten? Yeah. Be'lakor is like the definition of S tier. Like, goes in every army that he could be in. Really strong. Not overpowered, but just as good as you can be and still be amazing, right? Squat Rack, the dump truck of Khorne, is triple S tier. Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, so now let's see. If we're going... Is this too much of a hot take? This here? It might be. It might be. And then I'm putting something in good tier that just crushes my army and I can't do much about. But... What's this guy's movement speed again? 4 plus a d6. This man's movement speed is 4 plus a d6. He's just not S. True, yeah, I guess so. Even with that movement speed, he can single-handedly destroy me on most battle plans, and there's nothing I can do to stop him. And moving away from him doesn't matter because he's getting his points one way or another. Anyhow, let's start going through them. We'll do these in order. Grash Rack Fell Hoof. This guy has a spell that is good. Casting value of 7, pick one unit within 18. That unit suffers D3 mortal wounds. In addition, until the end of your next combat phase, add 1 to hit rolls for attacks made with melee weapons that target that unit. D3 mortal wounds, and everybody gets +1 to hit against that unit. So you can dogpile. Also, he still has the Beast Lord ability. At the start of the movement phase, add 3 to Bray Herd and Great Bray Shamans. I know... First of all, I know literally who, good meme, and I know nobody knows what I'm talking about because of Beast of Chaos. But architecturally, this guy is great. For Beasts of Chaos, for a Beasts of Chaos thing. He's surprisingly good. Good spell, good ability. The only thing is, like, he's in a BOC army, so he seems awful. I would say he's playable. In a Beast's army, relatively speaking, for what Beast is trying to do, like, you could say if you're giving him I don't know, if you're giving him a little booster seat because he's in BOC, you could say good, but honestly, he's playable. But him being playable is amazing for BOC, just so you know. And he's an Underworld warband that is useful in the actual game, which is phenomenal. He's the ultimate success story. And yes, also, he is literally who? Some guy for BOC. Korg is cool. He has a reality splitting axe, which is fun. You have to inflict wounds with a thing, and then you roll a hype 5-up die to slay the thing outright. It's not reliable, blah blah blah, but it is fun. It has a chance of killing anyone. They will clench. There's a full clench when you're rolling this die. This model is eligible to fight in the combat phase if it is within 8, and it can just zoom in from, like, he's in your driveway and you blink, and now he's on your kitchen table, like, killing your family, right? He piles in from no man's land. to try to reality splitting axe you, which is sweet. His command ability is bad. And he actually doesn't do that much damage. You're kind of relying on reality splitting axe. But you know what? By gum, he's fucking playable. And that's impressive. He's playable. He's not good, but he is playable. But reality splitting axe is on a 5-up on a Tuesday if it's raining. I mean, it's not like it's once per game, right? Just a 5-up. 5-up is a 1 in 3 chance of killing anything. Isn't that fun? It never happens, but it could happen. It's not on a 6-up. It's not on 2d6 only on a 7. It's not once a game, roll a die. It might end up being once a game if he dies after one combat, but that's under your control. A little bit. He's eminently playable. Not good, once again. And he's not good because of stuff that Leadfoot is talking about, and other reasons, like his CA sucks and he doesn't do any damage. But, he's playable. Scar, Blood, Wath. Scar, Blood, Wath. Alright. You have attacks characteristics equal to... is either 5 or equal to the number of enemy models within 3. And it's a bunch of 2s and 3s, 1/1. Okay, he spin. The end of the movement phase of this model has been slain. Roll 2d6 on an 8-up. You can set it up anywhere. And you can roll this every turn, apparently. That's kind of fun. The Skull Blooder. Murderous Paragon. Use command ability to start with the combat phase. Pick a friendly Wrathmonger's unit, hold A12 until end of the phase of the model. From that, slain the model is removed from play. The model can make a pile in it. Oh, okay. So you have a CA for your Wrathmongers to pile in an attack. But it's in the combat phase. I don't know. I saw this guy being played randomly sometimes throughout 2nd edition to just give you a blood tithe over and over because he cost almost nothing. Scar, Blood, Waff. He's 105. This guy is surprisingly... So I'm going to say he's better than you think he is. He's 105. His command ability is not great, I guess, really specific, but he can give you a blood tithe and he can come back to life over and over. Would you end up playing him? Honestly, probably not, but I mean, what are you going to do in Khorne? You might actually play him, maybe, and feel like a little bit of a Johnny when you do. To me, this guy's hovering between playable and GW Please. He's like top of GW Please, bottom of playable, something like that. It's possible you could run this guy, for some reason, and it's Khorne, so I'm giving you a bump. Next. What's the censored image on the bottom? It was actually a clerical error, and it was supposed to be something that they uploaded it correctly a second time, so it's just nothing. Although I guess I could say it's too hot for Twitch. Catch me on CB, and you'll see what the see what this image really is, which is actually just a mistake. Tay Barracuda, thanks for gifting a sub. Hey, wasn't Tay Barracuda gifted a sub before? And now they themselves are gifting a sub forward? Damn. The system fucking works. Hey, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Next. Valkia the Bloody, who is a demon but does not have the demon keyword. It's the Duke Crackmaw now. You and I chatted on it. Oh, okay. Alright. She's a cosplayer? What the fuck is CB? I don't know. It's just what, like, it's a joke that other kids say, and I'm just copying them. I don't actually know what it is. Also, I'm 12. Valkia the Bloody. 12-inch flying. Actually, good move. Only 5 wounds, 3-up save, 3 attacks, 3s and 3s, neg to 1. And she's damage D3 if she charged. Some people used to play this thing in 2nd edition as like a hero killer sometime in an army that was trying to be really tricky, but she had different rules back then. You can reroll Battleshock tests for friendly Khorne mortals holier than 16. If you do so and the unit still fails the Battleshock after the reroll, add D3 to the numbers that flee. Sure. Nice. Nice one, dude. Alright. Really twisting the knife, huh? You can reroll Battleshock tests, but if you still got screwed, hey, fuck you. Actually based. Spear of Sleipnir, which is a famous spear. Daemon shields attract 1 from wound rolls for attacks with melee weapons a target are kind of neat. Use command ability in the hero phase to do pick an enemy unit. That can fly and is within 16. Until the end of that turn, subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made by that unit. You cannot pick the same one. Alright, that's kind of dumb. I'd rather her have a command ability that helped her actually kill something. 6 attacks, 3s and 3s, -2. What is this? Like 4 damage maybe on the charge. You can give her all out attack and then maybe it's 6, so she can possibly like swoop in and kill like a foot hero maybe. Yeah, the glow up model for this one is going to be tight. I hope so. You think the only reason Valkia is mortal is because GW thinks she should synergize with mortals? Right, but if you understand that the mortals synergize with mortals and demons synergize with demons is dumb, then you can let your mind free. She looking to win the waifu tier list? Oh, really? Because the model looks really bad, but I'm sure the art's good. Not to be that guy, but Sleipnir is Odin's horse, not his spear. His spear is Grungnir. Oh, I was thinking of the spear of who's that? I was thinking of the famous spear that what's his name? It's like Scottish, not Scottish. God, I'm so bad with names and places of these guys. He's like Irish Achilles. What's the legendary spear guy? Yeah, Kuchu Lane, that's it. Oh, his spear is Gay Bolg. That's right. Okay. Yeah, I completely screwed up on the name of that. I don't know why I was thinking about that. Alright, apologies. I got all my mythology totally mixed up. I'm trying. And Valkia the Bloody has the spear Sleipnir, which is of course named after Odin's horse. Duh. Anyway, moving on. Scylla and Filgrim. What's a spear? Yeah, good one. We already did this one. It's trash. Bellicor, we did this. S tier. Mazarel the Butcher. You are some Forge World demon who probably fucking sucks. You cost 365 points, and you are not a hero. You have awful ranged attacks. At D6 attacks, 5s to hit. Awesome, dude. Bloody charge, roll a die each time enemy unit within 1, 4 up D3 mortal wounds. At the end of the combat phase, enemy models are slain. Add 1 to the attack's characteristic of Meat Howl for the rest of the game. You can unbind 1. You can use command ability to start the combat phase. Command must be issued by this model and received by a friendly Khorne unit. Add 1 to wound rolls for attacks made by the unit. 1 to wound rolls, okay. And it's the start of the combat phase, so it doesn't stack with the one thing. And your damage fucking sucks. For 365, you are trash. Good job. You are a hero, though. I misread the table. Okay, where are you? Mazarel the Butcher. help. I am searching for this guy. Hold up. Can I see him again? Oh, it is that guy. Azrael the Butcher. It's trash. Meat Howl, apparently. Yeah. Why do Forge World models usually get such bad War Scrolls? Because they also get bad sculpts, and they want it to fit. They want it to make sense. They try to pair the bad rules with the bad sculpts. Who's next? Kairos Fateweaver. Ah, yes. It's S tier. Moving on. Yeah, shots fired. Apologies. Oh, here we go. There. I did the thing. Kairos Fateweaver, who actually got a stealth buff that's pretty strong. When they added the double ones, mean you can't cast spells anymore for the rest of this turn. Kairos Fateweaver stealth buffed by that one. Pretty sick. Neferata, Mortarch of Blood. She was at one time the best Mortarch, arguably in 2nd edition. It's no longer the case now. Back when you could stack her -1 to hit aura and like blow command points out of a chain gun like popcorn. And put people on like -4 to hit in an aura, which is actually pretty sick. She's not that good anymore. But you know what? She's fucking playable. That's for sure. She's a Mortarch after all. All Mortarchs must be playable, it seems. And she is. And her CA is still good. It's just you can't use it 4 times a turn anymore. But you can't do that with anything, so who cares? She's good. Dark Mist is a strong spell. Ignore negative modifiers and making save rolls. Just negative modifiers, by the way. You can get your +1. You can get your plus modifiers. It's better than Ethereal. Not bad. And she's giga stacked. You know what, Zyko? Kind of back and forth on her. She like might actually be good. I'm gonna put her at the top of playable for now and think about it in future. The Changeling. What do you do again? I can't remember. Are you the double caster that knows all everybody else's spells? In the enemy hero phase, you can pick 1 enemy unit within 9 of this and super debuff it, but it's already within 9 of this, so you're probably... Well, hopefully there's a chaff wall between you and it. What Giga Chat is better than some undead hussy? I mean, we're talking about rules today. Apologies. Eldar spotted. Arc Deceiver. At the start of the first battle round, her armies, after army's been set up, remove it from the battlefield. If you do at the end of your first movement phase, set it up again. Anyway, okay. Is this thing... Why would you use this? Can some Tzeentch player tell me that there's some exquisite combo with this guy? Because he doesn't seem actually that great. He seems like kind of whatever for his Tzeentch unit. His sculpt is awesome. He looks really cool. But he doesn't seem particularly great. Unless I'm missing a combo. I love the look of him, though. I wish everything in Tzeentch looked this cool. What's his points? The Change. The Changeling is 170. And, yeah, he's a double caster. But you have plenty of those in Tzeentch. Like all of Tzeentch model. Yeah, everything casts spells there, huh? Glutos Rapscallion, aka Glucose Rapscallion. Lord of Gluttony. He is a Slaanesh battle barge who essentially radiates an aura. Where's his aura? What is it again? Gains an ability each battle round is shown below. Note that all of these abilities are cumulative. He's a party bus. Glucose orthodontist. That's a good one too. Guy's War Scroll page. He's mid-playable. Yeah, like look at all of this dude's abilities. Hold up. Glucose. He is 475 points. Add 1 to bravery for mortals within 6 of him. And then he can run and charge at battle round 2. Battle round 3, do not take battle shock tests if you're wholly within 12. So none of those matter. Well, round 2 is okay, I guess. Run and charge is good for him. But the other two don't do anything. Battle round 4, at the end of your hero phase, you can replace the spell modded he knows with a new spell. In addition, he can attempt to cast 1 extra spell in your hero phase. It's actually kind of nice. No chance is... If my opponent handed me the War Scroll card for this dude, no chance am I reading the whole thing. He has 3 War Scrolls worth of text. It makes sense that he would fill up the entire page with rules. +1 to casting, dispelling, and unbinding. Subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks made by enemy units within 12 of him. It's actually a big aura. -1 to hit within 12 is a huge aura with this guy's base. Yeah, tap knocks the top. You can fit so many rules on this bad boy. 2 mortal wounds on the target and the attack sequence ends for the Wailing Great Blade, which is 3 attacks. You can reroll charge rolls for this model, which is sweet. In your hero phase, you can say that Dulce de Leche will call on Slaanesh to protect him. If you do roll a die on 1, nothing happens. 2 up. Until your next hero phase, you can roll a die each time you allocate a wound or mortal wound to the model on a 5-up. Oh, he has a 5-up ward. Well, he has a 2-up chance at a 5-up ward, which is plenty good. You can try it every hero phase. It's sweet. Until your next hero phase. Good. Okay, so he's -1 to hit in a 12-inch aura around him. 18 wounds, 3 up. Not particularly fast at 8-inch move, but that's okay. A 5-up ward, kind of. Semi-decent-ish attacks, I guess. Certainly not 475 attacks. They're like This is like 220 attacks, maybe, if you include all his abilities, but... He also has a command ability. Pick 1 friendly Hedonite, and it's a hero phase thing. To your next hero phase, if an enemy unit is destroyed by an attack made by their wounds remain to be allocated to the enemy unit, heal up the same number. Oh, cool, okay. So you can heal for the damage you deal. Oh, for the excess damage you're dealing. Is this for Slaanesh? Yeah, this is a Slaanesh hero. And he's a double caster, double unbinder. With a spell, enemy unit within 18 until your next hero phase, halve the move characteristic of that unit, halve run rolls, and halve charge rolls. Dude, this spell is sick. Okay, so his damage kind of sucks, but he's big, he's durable, he probably has a 5-up, he has a -1 to get hit around him, he's a double caster, his spell is good, his command ability is decent for himself. He's a +1 to cast and dispel. You can reroll stuff. He gives your dudes random buffs. He's like a huge battle barge, buff wagon thing, who is stranded in an army that doesn't especially want anything that he's doing. If this dude had the exact same rules and you put him in almost any other army, he'd be extremely good. In Slaanesh, I don't think I've ever seen anyone play him. But that's not his fault. It's not his fault. He's at least playable. And there's possibly some sort of Slaanesh army where he might be good. I'm not sure. I need to figure it out. You know what? Maybe he's low good. I don't think he's like this good. But I'm going to put him bottom of good, potentially. Because it's not his fault that he's in Slaanesh. Also, 475 is way too much for him. And we kind of do have to think about the armies that things are in. But I would say top of playable, maybe bottom of good. I just don't see him a lot. But I might put him in good upon future reflection. Now we have Nagash, the supreme lord of the undead. Speaking of absolute war scrolls, are some of these new models? Yep. Bellacor's a new model. Glucose Rapscallion's a new model. Grashnak, new model. Bastion Carthalos, new model. Gotrek, kind of new model. You feel like he needs more time to brew since he just got updated? I'm kind of there too. Technically, he got worse. But there's some like funny business you can do with him in Nighthunt, I guess. I'm like personally dissatisfied with how he plays, but I can't let that poison anything. In one specific Nighthunt list, he's hilarious. I know, I've seen it. It's positively hilarious. I think good. I think he's all the way up in good. Where is he? I'm not finding him on this sheet. How blind am I? On a scale of 1 to blind. Maybe the model is like incredibly small. It is. It's super tiny. Okay, he's good. I think he's better than the G-Man. In any army you would actually play him in, he's way better than Gotrek. Is Nagash only for Jonathans? Pretty much, yes. Yeah. If you're not a Jonathan and you're playing Nagash, you're probably gonna get him killed. Which, I mean, maybe, hey, he's big brain. Look at this brain. It fills up the entire Pope hat. Now we have the Mass Quay. The Mass Q. It has some shitty attacks. At the start of your hero phase, you can either add D3 to the attacks characteristic of this model's melee weapons until your next hero phase, or heal up to D3 allocated to this model. The who? Yeah, I know. The Endless Dance. Eligible to fight in the combat phase if it's within 6. That's actually a very strong ability. In addition, you can reroll hit rolls for attacks made by this model to target the enemy unit with a move characteristic of 10 or less, and you can reroll wounds against the enemy with a move characteristic of 5 or less. If only you did damage, I would care about both of those things. Skulltaker isn't unique anymore. Yeah, he lost that, didn't he? Model can run and charge and roll a die each time you allocate a wound or mortal wound. On a 4-up, it's negated. So a 4-up ward. Now I see why you use this. You take this hero to basically annoy your opponent. 10-inch move, run and charge, pile in 6, re-rolling random things. Doesn't do a lot of damage, doesn't do a lot of stuff, but can actually just roll up and have a 5-up ward and possibly live, and just like pin something somewhere. She's actually kind of huge considering like what it looks like. She's much more durable than she looks. Good? I don't know if I would call her good, but she has like a job she can do, which is like waste people's time. Yeah, 135? Oh, okay, yeah. At 135, she's actually reasonably costed for that. Her job is to annoy. And that's actually good. Especially in Slaanesh. You forgot to tier Valkia. Oh yeah, I did. Where is she? Here. Games Workshop, please. Please. New model, new rules. 5-up ward is okay, but 5-up save is bad, right? 5-up ward is great, and a 5-up save is bad. So it doesn't really matter the ward if you're not saving attacks anyway. I mean, of the two, you would rather the ward be the better thing, right? And her ward is a 4-up, not a 5-up. Big difference. Is Skragrott the Pimp King in here? Of course. We can't forget about the Gloomspite Gietz. Yeah, with a 4-up ward, she basically has 15 wounds, which is hilarious for what she does. Her job is to annoy, and I think she does it well. Or I can see her doing it well. Sigvald, Prince of Slaanesh. I'm gonna look up the points of this guy because I know that ruins everything. Yeah, 265. That's a lot. So he has a 3-up save, 6 wounds. A bunch of attacks, 2s and 3s, neg 2, d3. Unfortunately, he has d3 damage. This hurts. Add 3 to charge rolls for the model. In addition, the attack's characteristic of Shard Slash is either 5 or equal to the unmodified charge roll, whichever is greater. This model fights at the start of the combat phase. If it made a charge move in the same turn, it cannot fight again in that phase, blah, blah, blah. Right, we got it. Wounds inflicted by an attack made with Shard Slash cannot be negated. Mega damage. Ahem. The Mirror Shield. Roll die each time. Oh yeah, 4-up. And he's got a 4-up ward. Sigvald is actually a Chad. But 265 is like way too much. He's actually cool. This is what peak perfection looks like, yeah. He's a bit of a weapon. I think he's playable. I think this man is playable. Would you pay 265 in OMT to kill Morathi? You know what? I would pay 265 to kill Morathi. You're right. You're entirely correct, Leadfoot. To win that matchup, yeah. Playable? Absolutely. Good? I don't know. I might just say yes. By Slaanesh standards, he's cheap. Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't think he auto-wins the matchup. The Slaanesh player understands that you're playing him. But, he is a good answer. Eltharion, Gotrek, and him all played... Yeah, they all play rock, paper, scissors with each other. SG Arcade redeemed ad time. Alright. I'll let it play SG Arcade, but the button is currently grayed out. Yeah, Sigvald destroys Gotrek like no other. It's hilarious. Gotrek survives because he reduces all damage to 1 and has a 3-up ward. Sigvald can potentially just full dead him, even reducing the damage to 1, because there's no 3-up ward and just kills him. So that's hilarious. Low good. Asterisk. Probably too expensive, blah, blah, blah. But he's good. Karnak. This dude used to be like, in 2nd edition, people would play this guy as the actual general of your army. Hats off, sure. I'll go Altered Beast. Karnak is a good guy. Frank, what do you think about this guy? Oh wait, he's not a leader anymore. They took that away from him, didn't they? Because in 2nd edition, people used to play this in like, I can't remember what the list was called. Blood something. Where they got like, maybe that was more of a 1st edition thing. Where you could run across the whole table in one go. He's not a leader, but still a hero. It was him and 4 Bloodthirsters. That was it, yeah. Where's my dog? Here we go. Bottom playable, possibly even GW, please. And honestly, the playable tier, I'm being too charitable. He's like top of please. Next. Was it Blood Hunt? Was that the name of it? Sileski the Vengeful Alliance. 8-inch move, 9 wounds, 4 up save. Has a bit of a Master Blaster looking model here. What do you cost, Syl? You were 210. Oh, and you're okay. Counts as a behemoth. This counts as a behemoth. Okay. You're a monster. You have some attacks. 9 wounds, 210. Yeah. I've seen people play with this thing, though. I wish I knew more about Slaanesh. I might look into it. About what current Slaanesh is doing. Yes, he's the Persian king from 300. That was clearly the inspiration here. In Real Heroes 1 for attacks to the Night 11s by Hedonites, holier than 18. If the number of friendly mortal Hedonite units holier than 18 is equal to the number of other friendly daemon here.
What's wrong with you?
Okay. You can run and charge. In the combat phase, if the unmodified hit roll for an attack made with a melee weapon that targets this model is 1, add 1 to hit and wound rolls for attacks made by this model that target that attacking unit. If you're attacking afterwards. Okay. And it's a wizard with 1/1 subvert. Pick one enemy hero within 18. The hero cannot use command abilities until your next hero phase. That's good. That is a good spell. I was about to complain because it only targets a hero, but it's like a unique, actually good hero fucker ability at 18. He's not a behemoth. That was an error. This is more or less what we call bad now.
So fucking big.
Hey, TY value. Thanks for the 1,000 bits and the so fucking big. I'm glad you showed up, Vince, because we got to the Slaanesh section, and I don't know too much about Slaanesh. How do you rate this guy, or rather these guys? And then Regal Authority. Started the Battle Shock phase. Did not take Battle Shock tests for Slaanesh units when they're wholly 18. I don't know. I don't see, like, his Subvert seems like a good spell, but I'm not sure I'd take this thing. They are your second from the bottom tier. I'm here to help. Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking. I just wanted somebody else to take the blame. Sileski. GW, please help. Next. Squat Rack, the dump truck of Khorne. And I see that the picture you included is reversed. We get the dumpy. All right. Yep. You know it's a Khorne. You know it's Forge World Khorne. If it is packing. That is absurd. Jesus Christ. Where's my Jesus Christ button? There it is.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
All right. Jesus Christ, it's Jason Bloodborne. All right, this is another overpriced, random-ass dump truck, shitty Forge World Khorne demon that sucks, right? I'm gonna speed this along a little bit. Squat Rack, the dump truck of Khorne. However aesthetically perfect your sculpt happens to be when only viewed from behind and not from front. GW, please. And or possibly trash. Do you have a command ability? No. How's your damage? Okay. If this model is slain, roll a die. For each model within 3 on a 4-up, it suffers a mortal wound. That's kind of cool. -2 to casting from wizards. Something about bravery. Skarak. You are 455. 455. Alright, got it. Okay, moving on. Yeah, we checked the points. Oh, Vince is here. I gotta show off the new meme. We checked the points. Technically, that's checking the tapes. Just put him in Legends. Yeah, just put him in Legends. Alright, who's next? Jesus Christ. Shalaxi Hellbane. And... okay. This is the one that's, like, incapable of actually dealing damage, right? A single attack? Oh no, 2 Impaling Claws. I know about Shalaxi Hellbane. This needs its own tier below trash. Oh no. The lore is cool. Like your giant tier in the previous list, it's a tier unto itself. It's the Ale Guzzler Gargant. Alright. I'm doing a new one. Add a row below. It's purple. This is the Shalaxi tier. Got him. Bury them under an orphanage. Now we have Kragnos. The butt of many jokes told by me since Kragnos came out, and others, I guess. This is the Beast of Chaos demigod that they sculpted and then accidentally put in Destruction instead of Beast of Chaos. Dumb lore. Doesn't look very cool. I'm lying. I just don't like centaurs. I'm not a big fan. And it's got a weird face, but just customize it. Easy. Now, he was trash. And then they changed him and he was still trash. And then they changed him again and he was still trash. And then they changed him one final time in that, remember that balance update that happened? Remember the balance update? They had enough willpower and energy to remake one war scroll with the full effort. And they spent it on Kragnos. And then they ran out of effort. And they phoned in the other 2 war scrolls. Ahem. This dude. Okay, look at this dude. He has 6 attacks, 3s and 2s. So all of his to wound rolls are 2s. So when you all out attack, he's simply on 2s and 2s right down the list. 6 attacks, 2s and 2s, Ren 3 damage 4. 3 attacks, 2s and 2s, Ren 2 d3. And then Hooves of Rack and Ruin. Whenever you deal damage to him, per phase, he stomps and does d3 mortal wounds to everybody around him. He 3d6 charges straight up. Not 3d6 drop the lowest, but straight 3d6. This is actual synergy sometimes, for instance with ogres. And it is a little bit of an ingenious solution to the problem that he's slow as fuck. Now, he's not slow as fuck because 10-inch move is pretty good, right? But not for a monster in AOS. It meant that everybody else's monster always got to charge him because he's slow and they're on like 14-inch flying move or whatever. Giving him 3d6 charge is the speed that he needed without just doing the easy thing, which is like, give him jump that technically counts as fly or something, or just make his move faster. No, 3d6 charge is nice because now he has reach. Natural 2-up save, basically immune to spells. He is the avatar of destruction, and so he can't be slain outright. He has mightiest makes rightiest, 1-upping even Sons of Behemoth. He just captures 30 for the first 9 wounds. So this guy's a capturing machine instead of a essentially useless non-utility charging monster guy, which was why he sucked, because every destruction army has that, only better. Like Maw Crush is better than this guy, and Frostword on Stonehorn was better than this guy, and so on. Now they've juiced up his war scroll so thoroughly that he is the heat-seeking distraction Carnifex missile you always wanted. Also, when he charges stuff, he fucking explodes it on the charge. If you randomly roll some numbers, don't worry about it. And they gave him a 6-up ward to pretend like they did something about him dying to mortal wounds. But you gotta die somehow. Most people who play Kragnos the first time they do will charge him directly into the center of the opponent's army and get him killed. You are forgiven, but in the future, you know, you can play him more intelligently. It's actually kind of fun. He is very expensive, but he kills anything on the charge. And he's immune to spells, and he captures 30. And while you're killing him, he's damaging everything around him. Like, I guess, what more do you want? He costs 720 points. 720 points is a lot of points for something that just does a shitload of damage. But he doesn't just do a shitload of damage. He captures 1 million. Who are you gonna call? You're gonna call good. He's good. He's like a big monster version of Gotrek. That's somehow technically kind of easier to kill. He's just a big, stompy, Timmy smash, shit slapper. He's not S tier. He's not OP. He just does exactly what little Timmy always wanted him to do. This is a huge success story. Rags to riches. Actually, it was rags to rags to rags to riches, but we got there, and that's what matters. Great work. Great work and good job. I still don't know if I play him in Ogres or not. But still, you did it. Next. Vermin King Screech. The Saved by the Bell Skaven. They really wanted to sell that model. They kept trying. But, I don't know. With a face like that. But they did it. I almost bought one myself, but not quite. This guy isn't very good. I'm gonna save some time, because we've been going for 3 hours, 30 minutes. I'm gonna save some time. This guy isn't very good. Vermin Lord Screech. The Vermin Lords in their entirety have, I mean, the game has just moved on, right? They started out, I remember when these things came out, these Vermin Lords, and, they were like 210 points or some obnoxiously undercosted nonsense in the world they were made in. They were so overpowered, and everybody was complaining about them, and now here, look where they are 2 years later. And they're kind of like a bygone era of rules and pointing. And they're much more expensive now. This guy himself was never particularly great, but still. You can use him. He's not trash. But he is Games Workshop, please. And all the other ones, well, not all the other ones. No, actually, yes, all the other ones are better in different ways, and you'd rather use them instead. And even those are just kind of alright now. I mean, this happens. This happens when, you know, times change and things move on. Thankful on Bonereaper. Oh, look at this art. How fun. I haven't seen this art. Not bad. Speaking of Timmy monsters that you just want to shoot mortal wounds everywhere, with Warpfire Braziers. I mean, projectors. This dude has... Is this guy playable or not? I guess that's the question. Skaven players, I would put this guy... I don't know if I would put him in playable or not, but maybe playable. Any Skaven players have strong opinions in the chat. Ever put one of these on the table just to see how it worked? Any low-key heat? But I'm thinking like possibly playable, possibly GW, please. He feels playable? Okay. I didn't want to, I didn't want to intrude. I'm not a Skaven player, but as I sat as an outsider just looking at napkin math, I'm like, okay, I could see possibly playing this guy. Where is he on my sheet here? There he is. He's playable. I think it was pretty good, but not a must-have. You play him frequently. He's bottom of playable in Skaven. Okay. You have a soft spot here, but he's actually solid in Skaven. He's tough enough. He can work as a caster, and he protects your units as a porcupine. Lots of damage in good situations, otherwise shot and dead rat. Well, I mean, aren't we all if we're playing Skaven? Also cool art. Archaon the Everchosen. I see you've chosen the Fist of the North Star Rao horseback version. And not the gigantic Dehorgar version. Oh, thanks Husbando on Thundertusk for selling out for me. Appreciate that. Brand new War Scroll. Brand new War Scroll that they definitely did not spend the time they spent on Kragnos' new War Scroll. He just got, like, less fun. Archaon the Everchosen. The horse is also Dorgar, right, but in this one it's like horse and man, and in the normal model, in this one here, it's like horse and horse and horse. And then 1 pixel of a man on top of it. Good art. Well, not really good art, but cool art, you know what I mean. So the problem with putting him on this list is that you kind of can't play him in anything you used to, for the most part. I think he's good. In the armies that still ever want to play him, he's good. Or are allowed to, or whatever, what have you. He's good. Took him out of Tzeentch, nerfed him a bunch, and raised his points. Cringe. True, but he is good. He's still solid in Slaves to Darkness. And CGO Busta has been playing him on TTS a lot, and in real life. Well, not playing a lot in real life because COVID, but armies painting along the way. Manfred von Manstein. Mantarch of Night. Alright. This guy is good. Possibly even, maybe even S tier. He's just like a great utility piece with fun, cool stuff in S-Blight G-Lords. So maybe S tier, maybe top of good. He's just really good. And he's fun. I like playing against him because there's a lot of extra things to think about. Ooh, I'm not going to charge him because if I charge him, then it opens up his teleport, and he's probably going to teleport here, and so on. It's fun to play against a thing like that. And he, yeah, exactly, Cast-Ass. He plays exactly how you'd expect him to, like a huge coward, but also very conniving and serving his ends, and sometimes helping people around him, but not always. He's just great. Not necessarily oppressive, though. I don't feel oppressed. I don't feel oppressed when I'm playing against him. I just feel like I have more stuff to think about. S tier. Well done. Prince V. For some reason, as my Discord calls him, Prince Longdong himself. Prince Vordry. This dude does a lot of damage, but can't hold any artifacts or anything, so you probably just want a Velocita. But that's what people used to say back in 2nd, when Velocita was a lot better. They made the Velocita War Scroll a hell of a lot worse in 3rd edition, so I don't know. We call him Longdong because the lance is high damn. Okay, so we press the button then.
Nice cock.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, Bloodlance charge. Add 2 to the damage characteristic of the Bloodlance. And improve the rend by 1 if it charged. This is rend 3, damage 4 on the charge. Alright, I get it. I see why you've said that. My man slabs shit. Alright. What do you cost? Prince Long Dong, what do you cost? Prince V. 455 points. Huh? You cost... whatever, 30 and change less than a Mega Boss on Maw Crusher. Quick Blood for the cheeky +1 to wound and hit. Yeah, he's 455, supposedly. When you need to beat someone into the fucking sun before he dies to the sun's rays. You can use the command ability once per turn in your hero phase. If you do, pick one other friendly hero that is within 12 of this model. That hero can fight. Oh, that's cool. It's too bad you can't choose him. I don't know why you're babysitting him with some other hero, though. Like, the point of this guy is to fuck off and project power somewhere. So his command ability feels to me kind of useless, but it's okay. Actually not Flaming Weapon because FAQ happened? Yeah. No fun allowed. Fun detected and not allowed. You see, unique characters don't... Unique characters with their own names, they don't know, like, universal spells. That's too basic for them. Although they do know Mystic Shield and Arcane Bolt. For some reason. But not Flaming Weapon, which would be fun. Bring Shadowcar along for the ride. I guess after he's summoned his wolves, you can do whatever you want. Hold up. I'm dropping some frames. Again, apologies. But I think it's over. Twitch is having some issues tonight. Where is Big Daddy V? He is an expensive thing that just kind of kills stuff on the charge, right? Like, that's cool. I'm going to be honest, I think he's playable. I don't know that he's quite good. Alarm for fun detected? Yeah, Logmin, man. I was thinking about that one. Imagine if Drycha could get Flaming Weapon. Considering most of her damage comes from 6's proccing mortal wounds, instead of addition, it actually wouldn't be that bad. Take you for a ride. Yeah, the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 opening, or the character select. The fuck is this dude? I'm trying to find him. Oh, but there we go. He's, like, playable. I definitely do not see him on a lot of lists. But he's playable. Arguably good, maybe, I'm not sure. If I put the mask in there, you'd think I should put this guy in there, but this one was getting special consideration. Lokavi. Kissing Lokavi feels like BFG Division. Speaking of, here she is. She's all yours. Alright, anyway, Mother of Nightmares. Oh no, I'm dropping frames again. Fuck. Apologies for the Twitch stuff happening. Anyway, what do we say about Lokavi? Yeah, what them wings doing? Yeah. I remember way back when we were looking at Lokavi and the other dude. And we're like, random, whether you can use command ability or not, trash, right? If she's the Mother of Nightmares, that means she has for certain fucked. True. Yeah. It's been dropping like crazy. Yeah, I'm just powering through it. Sorry about that. Just not really a reason to take her over the unnamed Vangorian Lord, seems like. I mean, that's... Yeah. I feel kind of bad, but that's entirely true. Where is it? There it is. She's technically playable, I guess. It's just you take the other version instead. Like bottom of playable, top of Jittery Please, maybe. Sick lore, though. You have a soft spot for Noble Bright Vampire shtick. Hey, no problem. Your one friend is convinced she's busted, so she's probably just playable. Richard Brimley. I'm sorry, Ripchard Brimley. I guess I'll have to take your word for it. We'll do a lore reading stream, see if she gets redeemed. Does she have defined collarbones? Yeah, exactly. Belladama. Belladama Volga. The side saddle wolf lady. Is there a reason the few in the bottom start are not being picked? What do you mean, Fee-Monk? Belladama is fun. Babushka, yeah. I think she's actually good. It might be a hot take that she's good. I think Chadokar is better, but she's actually kind of good. If you do a lore reading stream, it'll be like a 12-month subscriber count on it. Alright, fair enough. Wolfgram is probably going to be an OP or S tier, because she basically makes FEC playable as an ally. Oh, I wasn't thinking about Flesh Eater Courts, Leadfoot. I wasn't thinking about Flesh Eater Courts at all. Okay. Yeah, good point. I was just thinking about S-Blight G-Lords. And how she was pretty good in there. Technically a monster girl. That's monster mature lady to you. Alright. Tip your fedoras. Yeah, so she starts out like good for me, and she climbs up all the way, definitely ahead of Krag, because she single-handedly lifts Flesh Eater Courts into playability. I forgot about that. I was just thinking about SPGL. Yeah, I know, nobody's thinking about FEC, not even GW, but thanks for reminding me. Lady Annika, the Thirsting Blade. You're the hero that does nothing, right? Roll a die each time. Okay, 4-up mortal wound and a 4-up save. Very tanky. Does Stormcast hero level damage. At the end of a phase of any monster slain, you can heal all wounds allocated to this monster. Okay. Model, I mean. She is ridiculously durable. And so if you think Lady Annika belongs in the trash tier, never taken, you have to admit that the mask is just as bad, and we only put it here because Slaanesh has nothing better to do. But if you're willing to admit that, like I am, GW please. Easy. They're the same model, except she's slower. Ahem. Next. Oh boy. Looky what we have here. It's time for Scarbrand. Speaking of Doom music, alright. 36 mortal wounds, the absolute lad. This guy is unironically good. He's the only good thing in all of Khorne. And that's kind of a meme, and I don't mean to, belabor the point, I guess. But this dude is fucking good. He's not S tier, but he's fucking good. And he single-handedly puts Khorne on the map still in the year 2022. He's also where the fun is. He's also where the fun is in Khorne. This dude is perfectly designed to be fun in the way that a Khorne player would want. Games Workshop. I have to tell you, don't fuck this one up. Don't fuck this one up, okay? You've done it. This is what Khorne should be. When you make the new book, maintain this level of fun for Scarbrand and indeed learn from him. and make all of Khorne feel like this somehow. Anyway, I got a foreign correspondent at the Games Workshop rules writing office, so I'm going to check in on them and see how they're doing on that, keeping the fun in Skarbrand and making Khorne fun. Let's check into them.
Please disperse! Nothing to see here, please!
Okay, they're working on it. I have confidence. I have all the faith in the world. They've got it. Next, Kritza, the Rat Prince. This guy is cool as a sculpt and a model. I really like him. The Rat King kind of shawl and cape and stuff that he's got on. Pretty fun. What do you do, though? Like, what do you do? You have Stormcast hero attacks. When it dies on a 4-up, a new one comes up. And there was a temporary rules question that may or may not have caused you to create like 12 of them. That's water under the bridge. The answer is you don't do anything. And maybe you come back to life one time. And now he can be put to sleep. You can rest now. It's okay. You can rest now. Now you can sleep because Skarbrand is high. Skarbrand's good. Skarbrand's good and fun. He's both. He's both of the things. There's a bunch of downsides to him. He doesn't fly. He's kind of slow. There's a weird, like, if you have or have not killed something. There's also some cool combos to him. Like, if you fight with Skarbrand in the combat, in the hero phase, you get to double dip on Incandescent, because Incandescent checks the past combat phase, not the past hero. There's a bunch of cool stuff. He dies easily to get you command point on a 2-up for barely any points, and he comes back. Okay. Alright, fine. GW please, very bottom. He has an use. He has one, in parentheses, spelled out, the word one. Use. Reikenor the Grimhaler is actually pretty cool. I actually really like him, and he got some new rules and a White Dwarf, where you can make a bunch of different, candle casters with Nito green abilities in Nighthunt. It still doesn't, like, he's only 85. Oh yeah, what is he? Let's check the tapes on that. Crits, he's 95 points. 95. I don't know that I would ever play him, but you know, what is this Reddicar thing? You could have chosen so many other things. Anyway, that's SG Arcade. He's gonna have to answer for some of this art, although most of the art's really good.
Twitch Prime.
Blackheart VI, thanks for the big primer. I appreciate it. TY, my dude. 4 months. Thanks for liking my stuff. I appreciate it. Prime is paying my rent, so thanks a lot. Reikenor the Grimhaler. This guy is cool. I know no one plays Nighthunt, so I don't need to talk about it in chat, but this guy is actually kind of cool, and I almost kind of play him sometimes when I'm building lists in Nighthunt, but never end up playing them. Unfortunately, the thing he's in kind of ruins everything. I think he's technically, like, maybe playable or something in Nighthunt, but every Nighthunt list I build ends up not using him. So I don't know. All of Nighthunt belongs in Games Workshop Please, so I'm not going to punish him. He's playable. It's fine. It's like bottom of playable at best. Ad time? Sure, get owned. See you in a minute. That's the wolf, and there's no art of new death stuff. He wants to be good, but there you go. He's fine enough. You would honestly say he's playable? Tay Barracuda plays Nighthunt? Okay. Hey, Tay Barracuda. You play Nighthunt. Where does Reikenor go? Have I erred, or is this where they should be? Vote now on your phones. Chadukar. Oh, wait, this is the wolf. Radikar the wolf. This command ability is actually good. Hold up. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Start of the combat phase. Pick a friendly model with this command ability. Add one of the attack's characteristic of melee weapons used by friendly. Same unit cannot benefit. Okay. No, this guy actually, this is a good command ability. Hell yeah, dude. And he has a spell. He can two up, shrug off stuff. He's not particularly durable, but that's fine. Because he's a healer, right? He's got supernatural strength. He has to have charge to use his ability. Pick one friendly model with this command ability that made a charge. Yeah, okay, he sucks. Redukar. I've played against this guy before. He is 150 though. That's pretty cheap. You just have to charge him into something that you're also charging some other guy into. In other words, you got to give him the old razzle dazzle. It's hard to set it up, or rather, it requires you jumping through a hoop or two. I don't think he's trash, but he ain't good. What's your movement? 5? Jesus Christ. Alright, where are you? I'm running out of people. You'd think I'd be able to find them quicker. There we go. He is GW, please. Top. I could... Man, technically he belongs in playable because I could see someone play him. I played against him before. In an actual Soulblight list. Person I played against had misread his ability and thought he didn't have to charge, to be fair. Which, you know, we figured out, and then I don't think they're playing him anymore, so there is that. Alright, I'm going to put him in GW, please. Maybe the top row. Shadukar the Based. You are a shit slapper with 12 wounds and a 4-up save and 8-inch move. You have several command abilities. You summon 10 chaff for free when you appear. And you subtract 1 from hit rolls that target you. He's just S tier. It's easy. They don't call him Shadukar the Based for nothing. This is how you make foot heroes that don't feel like a total waste of space. He does all sorts of stuff. He's not a wizard, he's not a priest, he doesn't really have any synergy technically. And here he is, a foot hero. Considered S tier. All you have to do is honestly like juice him the fuck up with so much random synergy, or so much random summon power and extra value that he looks like Bane. But still, dude's awesome. Exactly how a combat hero, foot hero should be. Yeah, I agree. Gorzlov the Gave Keeper. Arise is really strong. If you like zombies, he's playable. Possibly better than playable. He might even be good. I've never played against him though. He just seemed good on paper. He seemed good/sick in a zombie army, but I've never played against him. And I don't know if a lot of Soulblight players have tested him out or not. I'm thinking good, though. At least good. Just solid good. Zombos are good, the dude rules, yeah, I figure. I don't know where he belongs in the tier. I'll just do this. He's good. He seemed good, and he just is good. Nice guy. Also, very Del Toro look to him, to the sculpt. Straight out of Pan's Labyrinth for sure, which I am a big fan of. You looked up Loka's lore, and she's redeemed. Oh, cool. I'm gonna have to look her up after the stream. I just want to know. Torgilius the Chamberlain. I'm kind of... Okay, what do you do again? You have a 4-up ward. If this model is within 3 of Radikar the Wolf, you get a command point on a 4-up. So try one for here. Okay, you're nothing. Is there anything I'm missing? Did I skim too fast? 6-up save, 4-up ward. If you're near some other guy you probably shouldn't be playing, you can roll a die. I don't know, 4-up you get a command point, and here's a spell that's not... I mean, it's not a bad spell. But it's just like -1 to hit. A lot of stuff has -1 to hit. I don't know why you have to play the other guy to play this guy. Or to give this guy a bonus. I guess because it's all Cursed City, and at first they thought you were going to play all of them. So I get it. Where's this dude? I'm looking. Give me some time. I must find him. There. He is like a necromancer, except without the reason you take a necromancer. Torgilius the Chamber, lame. Got him. Alright. That fucking laugh is so weird. Alright, Watch Captain Halgrim. He fights kind of. Pick 3 friendly Death Rattle units with an 18 until the end of phase. If you declare that any of the units will run, instead add 4 to their move characteristic. Do not make a run roll, but you did declare that they ran, so they can't charge, right? Until the end of the phase, if you declare any of those units will run, do not make a run roll. Instead, add 4 to the move characteristic of those units until the end of phase. Yeah, so they still technically ran. Which means he is trash. Actually worse than the Necromancer, probably. Big late to the stream. How's everyone? We're chugging along. We're getting there. We're like halfway through. Ish. Lady O. Is it a hot take to consider her playable? In like a Hexwraith bodyguard, you know, looking ass White Dwarf army for the time being? Non-double Jenny kind of thing. Playable is probably as high as I would go for her, if I'm being particularly charitable. Tom was talking about using her with Nagash and Nighthunt. Oh, in that list? Okay, fair enough. Then in which case, sure, playable. She's okay. She's okay. You can protect her with Hex Raves now because of the White Dwarf thing. That's cool. As far as Nighthunt goes, she's playable. No, that was a battalion. Yeah, she's only a double Jenny in that battalion, which is gone. She cannot double Jenny. I mean, presumably she can when the new Nighthunt book comes out, but who knows when that'll be. Archcavalos Zand Toast. Big chillin'. And what, 5 other ghosts? Basically some Hex Wraiths and call it a day, DY value. There's not much left. Archcavalos Sand Toast. Sand Toast. He is like the unnamed version, only just worse. He does require you to be in Mortis Praetorians if you want all of his buffs. So there's that. He's still good outside of it, though. Or not good, but like... I don't know. What do you say? You're just not playing him over the default version. So what does that mean? What does that exactly mean? If you're not playing him over the default version? Does that mean he's still playable? Or does it mean he's good, or I don't know, top playable? Maybe even worse than playable, honestly. I don't know. Do people use this guy in OBR? I know people aren't using Kragnos anymore. Is this guy just like actually kind of not playable because you take the default version and that's it? If that's the charge levied against him, then fair enough. You just never see him. Simple as that. Archon the Blatch. If the generic gets picked over him, he is GW please. Fair enough. Xantos is now cheaper than the regular liege. They're learning computers. I think Archon is playable. I've seen more Archon in OBR in 3rd edition than I did in 2nd. Mystic Shields for everyone. Is he actually good, though? Would you consider Archon the Black good? Is he in the G tier? Or is he just high playable? I don't feel strongly one way or another about it. He used to do Mystic Shield for everyone until they... Or wait. Sorry. He didn't used to do that. They FAQ'd it for Nagash. I'm getting my timelines of OBR's 17,000 FAQ changes. Rip Legion of Sacrament, yeah. Archon P good. I don't feel too strongly one way or another about Archon here. Slaps in high playable, I guess? Yeah, probably. High playable. I think he's more playable than Prince Longdong, probably. And most of this other stuff. Catacross. I really don't see a lot of Catacross anymore. Is your experience different than mine? With Catacross, are you guys seeing a lot of him being played in OBR? I admit I haven't checked the tapes on a lot of OBR recently. He's still great. You think he's a must? Codpiece tier? Alright. I just want one of his advisors to randomly be a wizard. Is that too much to ask? He's in COD tier. Good one, actually. He buffs in the hero phase. Oh, instead of the combat phase. Good point. Good. The new... What was it? Hold up. What did they get in the White Dwarf? I'm going to check the tapes for a second. I'm actually checking the tapes.
Like dark matter, something.
An ABC News brief brought to you by Michelob Light Beer. Now,
I'm checking the tapes on the White Dwarf, because I know they basically got nothing, and it was really insulting, but... didn't they get a spell where it's like... Maybe it's a friendship... Oh, it's a hero action. One Mortesian gets to autocast, and it can't be unbound. Okay. That was the thing. Are you going to make the OBR players cry by reminding them about the White Dwarf? Apologies.
Why are we still here?
Apologies.
Just to suffer
Every night.
every night.
Every night. I can... I don't know. I wish I could talk to an OBR player. I think still good. But maybe not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure how desperately they need wizards in their army still. there were too high hopes for the White Dwarf. I don't think there were too high hopes. Of the people that I saw that play OBR that were hoping for stuff in the White Dwarf, in a way, like, the things they hoped for were, like, pitifully small. It was almost telling. They were like, I just hope my command abilities work like they did in second. Nothing else. Like, bare minimum, I just want my army to work how it was designed to work. I don't need anything else. And their hopes were still crushed. Because they did, like, kind of actually nothing except give them some battle tactics. However, that one battle tactic that that one hero action we just looked at is actually good. That was like the one, basically that's what they got. They got one hero action to unbindably cast their, shield tilt or whatever they called it, and some battle tactics. But it certainly didn't fix their CA business. Anyhow. Vok Morshin, Master of the Bone Tithe. You don't do anything. Do people play this guy because he's a double wizard? I remember him being pretty bad, but I haven't checked him in a while. 155, huh? It's kind of cheap for a double caster. But he doesn't do anything. So, he's trash. He is Garbo, as they say. Next. Sinessa, the voice of Slaanesh. I see we went for like strip club neon color scheme here. Good work. Will there be hobby on stream tonight? Probably not. I'm gonna go way over time doing this. And so I'm probably just moving hobby up to the next stream. Apologies, TY value. There are two of these. I don't know which one is which. One of them is okay. Any Slaanesh players in chat? She's the good one of the two, since it says Venturella. Good as defined by this tier list good, or like this is the one that someone would ever play, but it's like unplayable or something. She's only 9 wounds, which is the good number of wounds. Yeah, 10 would be worse. Her spell is good. Cast it in your range. Ignore the text on the spell. She's playable? Okay. Oh god, which one? So this one is the spiky wings, and this is the whatever that peacock bloom. So this is the spiky wings. The one that looks worse is unplayable, and the other one is not unplayable. How bad is the other one? Give it to me straight, doctor. Give it to me straight, doc. I gots to know. The other one is 10 wounds. Dexessa. Dexessa. Oh, nice, yeah. She's a pure combat monster. Read her stats and think about that. Alright. I'm going to focus my brain power. Ready? Alright, I'm suited up in full brain. Pure combat monster. Dexessa. Checking the points. 280 points. Alright. 10 wounds, 4 up save, 12-inch move. Can fly. Pretty fragile, and a bad number of wounds. Can run or retreat and still charge later in the same turn. Okay, so fast-ish. After this model is fought for the first time, at the start of each battle round, add 1 to the attack's characteristic of this model's weapons for the rest of the battle. The effect is cumulative. Okay, so you expect to win combats and then slowly, minutely increase your damage over time. Okay. Subtract 1 from hit rolls of targeter. Do not take battle shock tests for demons wholly within. Don't worry, I won't. In addition, once per turn, the model can issue a command for free, except only for a demon. And now let's check the attacks. Stormcast Foot Hero combat attack profile. And then that Stormcast Hero's dog friend. +1 rend, +1 damage. Yeah, she does like, what? 5 damage or something? Maybe? On average, 6? 2 what? 200 and what? 280. Alright, so very close to 300 points. Does shitfuck damage for 300. Yep. It is bad. Mad because bad. It goes in the trash tier. It's not quite Shellaxy, but it might be. She is trash. She is mad because bad. Sigvald is cheaper. Jesus Christ. Yeah, but Sigvald can't fly. Got him. She actually approaches 0 damage. Good one. Yeah. Dexessa is supposed to be combat hero, but compared to Radikar, like what the fuck is she? How much does Radikar cost? Hold up. Radikar probably I don't know. Does he outdamage her? If you count the dogs. Even if you don't. Cool paint scheme though. It is excessive. I'll give him that. Next, Alarielle the Everqueen. She is not as bad as everyone says she is. Because she isn't as bad as she used to be. She's like low-key kind of immortal if your opponent can't do a bunch of mortal wounds. She camps out, chilling on a 2-up save. And heals heals kind of an absurd amount. Unless you can whip 16 mortal wounds at her in one combat and kill her outright, she's just going to almost heal to full, just over and over. No longer shelf tier. Still has that annoying summoning thing, which makes her points always awkward. And War Scroll always a bit disappointing. Unfortunately, they didn't move away from this, which I was hoping they would. Scarbrand has entered the chat. Yeah, speaking of things that can just dumpster her, Kragnos, stuff like that. Anyway, you can heal up to 2d6 wounds allocated to this model in your hero phase. In addition, you can heal another d3 to each other friendly Sylvaneth wholly within 30. Healing 2d6 before you cast a spell, and one of those spells could possibly be a healing spell. She's pretty cool. Yeah, Kragnos is coming for her, but she's 16-inch move and flying, so she can kind of play keep away a little bit, but can only run for so long. Are we missing Drycha on the list? Oh, let me check. Possibly, yeah. Drycha belongs at the very bottom of playable or GW please. Spoiler. On the cusp of like being, I would say, bottom of playable. Pretty fragile, being a hero really hurts her, 10 wounds, but fun and can actually accomplish stuff. Drycha's blurred out, true, yeah. I wish you had casting bonuses. What do we put Alarielle at? I wonder. Yeah, the scrambled, yeah, this is Drycha here. She's playable. There you go. Too hot for Twitch. This is Drycha after dark. Showing off the birch bark. Alright, Alarielle is actually good. She's acatitually good. And probably better than some of these other ones. Drycha might be the C. Oh, she's just okay. Do you mean Alarielle or Drycha? Playable may be good. Yeah, I put her down here. It's just her old model that had tree nipples for whatever reason. Fucking old school GW and their nipples. Fucking, oh, I almost pressed the button. I don't have a nipples button. I'm gonna get one. Am I giving her too much benefit of the doubt here? Is she not actually good? She's just like very playable now. My concern is that I'm overcompensating with how bad she used to be and how bad everyone thinks she is, and usually my thing is that she's not as bad as everyone thinks now. In other words, am I overselling her? I am. Okay. It's good to be, you know what? It's good to be self-aware sometimes. Playable. Next. Morathi Khaine, the best named unique character in the game since she came out. Alright, Kragnos Valentian. This guy sucks. He actually kind of slaps a little bit. Like 5 attacks, 3s and 3s, run 2 damage, D3. It's actually sort of cool. And when you have a wound roll of 6 with this stupid scepter, it's D6 damage, which is funny. Like, he can bonk. And he can reroll hits against the general. So this dude is the double Jenny Hunter. The actual double Jenny Hunter. Now, his ability, if I can't roll, none shall roll, is worded in a way that at the start of the enemy hero phase, after the opposing player receives their command point for that turn, roll a die. On a 5-up, subtract 1 from the enemy player's command points to a minimum of 0, and you receive 1 command point. This is like why people used to try to play him a while ago. But it doesn't work for each one, it's just one, and it's a 5-up, and nothing else he does is useful, and you would never want to play him if you've ever built a Nighthunt army before. All of your heroes are like the lowest to the ground 100 points, how much synergy can I possibly get from this guy kind of heroes, and so he is, do you please. Next, Doralia Van Dentist. Doralia Van Dentist, huh? She has a crossbow shot and a little hunter's sword, and she's cute, and she comes with a hat that you can use if you want. Cute out of 10. When we do the waifu tier lists, I don't know, we'll talk. If you have not made a move in the same turn, you can add 1 to the... You can shoot twice with a crossbow. She has a 5-up ward and a 4-up save. She's actually a tank. In addition, when this model fights or shoots, you can choose an endless spell to be the target of its attacks, and you can actually banish it. This thing is cool. I played against her in a tournament in real life, alright? So I'm not just memeing on you guys. Yeah, she's 115. I just looked up her points. I played against her in a tournament, and the person who played her said that he's never gotten rid of an endless spell in his life with her, but he might someday, and she was actually kind of useful. I don't think she's good, but I definitely don't think she's trash, and this is really surprising probably, but she's playable. She has some stuff to do and can, you know, blow up endless spells if need be, and technically she's a hero. And then there's Galen, Van Dentist. And this guy can retreat and still shoot. Double the damage characteristic of an attack made with this model's weapons if the target of that attack is a wizard or a daemon. In addition, when it fights or shoots, you can choose endless spells to be, you know, etc., etc. So, same thing. He's just the same as her, except does a little more damage. Kind of cool. Surprisingly, sometimes useful in a Cities of Sigmar army, even for tournament play, which is neat. Lord K. Help me out, Seraphon players. I've never seen anyone play with this thing. But I don't know a lot about Seraphon in 3rd edition. I know they're really good. I know people are playing them. I've never seen it, and I've looked. I know much less about Seraphon in 3rd edition than I am comfortable with, and so I actually need to do some fresh research on them, to be honest. Do people play Lord Croak? Is he sweet? He does less. Galen is strictly worse than Duralia. Alright. I'll put him in the... Oh yeah, he's below her. He is below. Lord Croak, besides having an amazing new sculpt, which I love. He's still good, but he's not taken because of randomness, but he is playable. Fair. As an outsider, that's what I think, but, you know, you just don't know. I wondered if there was a Seraphon Gigabrain Slann IQ that would just show up and be like, this is exactly what I think about Slann. Croak. Look at how much text his abilities have. That has to be good. Huh. You would think so, wouldn't you? Volturnos. He's like a Kellyan King, only worse. Except kind of better. But kind of worse because can't take traits. Mount traits. He's just good. Volturnos is just good. He's about to change. He's about to change very soon. He is worse than a Kellyan King, but still very much an option, and I would almost even still call him good. But, I don't know. Like, top of playable, bottom of good, somewhere around there. If I'm putting Sigvald in good, I'm putting fucking Volturnos in good. Gets the award for highest potential rend in the game. Yeah, at -5, if I recall. On a 6 to hit, I think. His attack becomes rend 5. Yeah, here it is. If the hit roll is 6 up, the attack has a rend characteristic of -5 instead of -1. They just didn't want to make it mortal wounds. Which I think is kind of interesting. I wasn't mad. I thought it was cool. Some stuff has wards for just mortal wounds. Bypasses it. Get owned. But then you play against Nighthunt, and it doesn't do anything. So it's like it's different against some stuff, and different against other stuff. It's cool. Anyhow. Lotan. Oh... Once Lotan was the name and the face of what it meant to be a useless fucking named character model. That is just terrible. Now, he lets your Namarti Reavers reroll 1s to hit. And do some decent damage, actually. Revisiting the waifu tier list, you have a feeling hearts will be broken? Maybe. That may be. So, this dude essentially rerolls 1s for Namarti. Namarti might possibly be playable in the future. Therefore, he becomes a little better. For the longest time, this guy was trash. And then he was like, GW please. And now he's maybe playable, maybe, I don't know, but he's going to change, so who cares? And we don't know what's happening yet. I'm going to put him at the top of GW please. Maybe bottom of playable, honestly. I'm feeling especially charitable today. We'll go bottom of playable. But he's getting brownie points here. He charges Kragnos and does 2 wounds and gets smacked, yeah. He looks so cool, I want to paint one. I actually own one, I haven't painted it yet. As with all the rest of my IDK. Brock Gurner, Lord Magnet of Barack Obamanar. He is a combat hero who wants your guys to charge in an army who never ever ever wants to do that. And now there's a default version that you can take instead of him. Why does he exist? What is this guy? What are you supposed to do? Charge in and do not great damage. He hitches. He's like a weird remnant of a KO melee strat. Yeah, that they didn't fully flesh out. OP sculpt GW rule. Yeah, I like his beard guns and his top hat. I don't like his high-rise foot things, and I never much cared for the balloon stuff. But steel top hats and golden guns in your mustache is sweet. I know Tom plays KO, and so it's possible he's got some weird combo for this guy, but he just seems like he entirely doesn't fit into anything the army wants to do. Capitalist overlord. I mean, he's Cave Johnson, the dwarf, in libertarian power fantasy, the army, which is cool. Like, fair enough. He's actually trash. But like, maybe I'm being overcritical of this guy for some reason. And there can be a KO player who's like, no, actually, you play him in something or for any reason. Elania and Elathor, Eclipsian War Sages. These people get something like a 10 out of 10 for representing the lore of these two really cool, interesting characters with game rules. It's just you wouldn't want to do any of that crap in the actual game. That's the problem. You don't want to do any of this crap. But it fits the lore really well, and that's cool. Great job, GW, please. Also, I don't know about the full body, like, Adidas pajama suit. Avalinor the Stoneheart King. Avalinor the Shelf Heart King. I feel like they were a miss. These dudes. I feel like these dudes were a miss somehow. There's something about these weird kind of hero, kind of not hero, kind of leader, kind of not leader. Why did you need to make that so hard? Big, slow, weird monsters. They're kind of a miss. Also, their legs are too thin. But now I'm getting into aesthetic opinions. Actually a goat, but not the goat. I've never seen anyone successfully play these well, but that doesn't mean they're not playable. You actually play against these a lot? Cool. What I want to have you say is that they're actually great. It's just that you can't make a monster with 6-inch move and expect it to be, like, truly good. But if you position it perfectly and you force the enemy to come to you, they can actually slap, and that's cool, but honestly, bottom of playable at best. BOC loses a model to another faction again. You play against these guys a lot. They slap. The challenge is movement. They're solid in premise, but in the movement game, you need speed. In certain scenarios, they will just flatten holy. Cool. Okay, so playable it is. Bottom of playable, but, you know, what they were trying to do is a rough fit. AV is good, Spirit is playable. Oh, you've run it a few times. If you can reach something, it claps, but they are screened forever. The AoE -1 to hit is actually a big deal because it lets you break the Shining Company and play more aggro. Cool, okay. Well then, I'm pleased to hear this. I'm pleased to hear that this thing is actually playable because they look fucking awesome. And I just like big, awesome stuff to be playable. But it's very, yeah, I can imagine it's very battle plan dependent. Lyrior Uthrail, Warden of Remetrica, aka fucking chattiest elf. Alright, this picture does not... The justice is not being done, and I'm looking this up. Lyrior. This is the coolest looking elf they've made in 20 years. Look at this dude. This is the most elf that has ever elfed. Look at this magnificent fellow. Yeah, his mount looks kind of weird, but it's the coolest version of this mount. This dude is awesome. He is glorious. Big fan of the model, but I'm not judging the model here. The reason why you take this guy is so you can triple up on your sun metal, right? Pick D3. Oh, not triple up, it's D3. I thought it was triple up. D3 friendly Lumineth Realm Lords all get the sun metal weapons. You would probably never play this, maybe, but he's awesome. And there is, like, technically a reason why you might play him. Also, look at that speed. Look at the fucking pace. However, you just take the generic one. And you model him up like the really cool version, and then there you go. Where do we put the things that are just worse than the generic versions? Looking for... Here we go. Right next to Archkavalos Xantos. Some other guy that you just take the default one. Lyrior is 100% a GW Please model. He's actually pretty solid. He's a good support element while being fast and hitty. But here's the problem. He requires you to not take Techless to get his rule. And not having Techless makes you bad competitively. Oh, no. He is better than generic. Well, so the thing about that is, if you're better than generic, but you're not taken instead of the generic, then you're not actually better than the generic. I know what you mean, though. I know what you mean. He is, like, technically better. It's just you don't end up playing him for a reason or two. I don't mean the shit on my boy here, because he's fucking awesome. Looking. This is like one of those, they almost got it right. And then they're like, you can't play him in Techless for some reason. Good one. The Light of Eltharion. This guy is like Sigvald, except in an army that even yet more can't afford to put him in anywhere. Because you just don't have the points for it. You can't play some foot Chad. Even though he is a Chad, foot hero like slapper dude. You just can't play that. You can't fit it. You need your special hero guys. You need your Techless thing. You need your Sentinels. There's just no room for something fun like this. There's no such thing as fun in a Lumineth army. You can't afford fun. You're too rich poor. But he has almost every ability that you would ever want on a foot hero that's supposed to just clap people. So this is Games Workshop being their most obvious and trying their hardest, and it's like they should have succeeded. It's like they should have succeeded. This guy should be playable, but the army is too elite, so you just straight up can't. Even though everything on him is awesome, and if you actually got to play him somehow, you would have fun. If he was an endless spell, he would be cool. There's no room for fun. Lumineth armies are well designed for their lore. Yes, to a fault. There's no room for fun for you or your opponent. God, but what do you even do with this thing? Technically, he's like playable or good. Like as a model floating in space, in like an asteroid belt, he's like playable or good. But inside of Lumineth Realm Lords, he's like, please. I don't know what to do about this. I'm going to make a special note. In case this ever becomes a video, and it won't because it's way too long. And I'm losing my voice halfway through it. Light of Eltharion is fucking based, and he's awesome, and his rules are great, and Games Workshop didn't really screw up making him. It's just that. In his faction, there is no room for fun. You are not allowed. You're not allowed. And so he drops down to, like, I don't know, something like GW Please. I'm not sure. You fucked up. Next. Archmage, Texas, and Celine Diar, Spirit of Hush. This dude, is like pretty good. He's pretty good. He's got a whole bunch of spells that are annoying and strong. And the rest of the book is written as if you have him. So you kind of have to. Even though you don't want to. And you're spending more points than you'd like to have him. And you're too huddled together with him. And he isn't like that good. But he's so arrogant that he warps the entire army like a cape around himself. In a way that you kind of have to go along with, even though you don't really like it. Ahem. You would put this man in the OP tier, not because he's really powerful, which he is, but because he shapes the design space of his faction and largely an auto-include in competitive. So is it GW please for the faction or the model? I think we have to come to terms with the reality of the faction as well. Molten Take, you like the model? The model's fine. It's fun to meme on, I guess. I wish the model was different in some ways, but it's pretty close to being something I really like. And I don't think you're weird for liking it. Although it's fun to meme. The reality is, whoops, I accidentally put him in playable, that's wrong. He's just good. Teclis himself is actually just good. He's not like S tier, he's not OP. But you kinda have to play him in your faction. And that causes some strange, sort of weird brain damage stuff to go on. That's not exactly your fault. Texas, the god of magic, is in the good tier, in a similar way to like how Eltharion and Lyrio are in GW Please. They're here because he's here and has to be the star of the show. He put them here. Severith, Lord of the Seventh Wind. This guy is the hot gale of the Hyshian deserts is made manifest in Severith. His arrows, though deadly, are not his fiercest weapon, for the sandstorm that whips around him can strip a man's flesh from the bone, erode the statues of tyrants, and scour evil men from history. Repeating history and the mortal realms. A tale of souls and swords, eternally retold. He is so fast. He has dodged an FAQ 3 times. They can't even catch him to stop him from moving in the opponent's hero movement phase, which he just should. He's OP. Don't do that. He's like game crunch tactically annoying to play against. In like kind of the worst ways. Yeah, you have no idea how fucking fast I am. I'm fast as fuck, boy. That's him. That's him. Alright. Got wrecked, didn't ya, son? The Noob Slayer. Also the Me Slayer. So maybe I'm repeating myself. He's good. He power fucks people playing fair armies to death. If you're playing a good army, you kind of just beat him. Or move away from him. Or throw buckets of dice at him. Kind of separates the men from the boys in a way. If your army relies on multi-damage weapons, good luck. He's good. He's playable. If we're being like tournament competitive brain, I would put him in playable and or a trap tier. But I'm easing off a little bit, and so I'm putting him in good. You at your first tournament, how much damage can he possibly do? Oh, yeah, he kills a Frostlord on Stonehorn full to dead with all out defense every combat phase. And if you put 2 near him, he'll kill both of them and take literally 1 damage from both of them. And you can only run from him so long with the objectives where they are, and so he just kind of pixel... he kind of like Pac-Man gobbles up your whole army. Unless you have enough chaff waves to put in his way over and over, or buckets of dice to kill him, or it's a battle plan that you can win without going where he is. He wave dashes at you. Yeah, he does. He like he's Soten speedrun dashes at you. Skragrot the Pimp King. This dude lets you control the Bad Moon. However, the Bad Moon is actually bad. They went too literal on the name. And so, yes, it lets you use your Allegiance ability, but your Allegiance ability is actually bad. The reason why you really want him is honestly because of the extra command points. But all of this is from 2nd edition. In 3rd edition, I don't know what you're even doing in Gets. What are you playing, Kragnos and stuff? And a bunch of like the most efficiently chaffy spiders or something, or maybe a bunch of trogs or something like that. I'm not sure. Hey, I hope your new book makes any goddamn sense. GW, please. Overpriced Gloomspite Gets are garbage. Kragnos and chaff. Wait, spiders are good in Gets? This is my moment. No. I think there's some unit of spider that makes okay chaff right now. I wouldn't call them good. It's not a Spider Fang army. Imagine if they printed a model that had literally all the rules of the Bad Moon that he could use exactly once a game. Would you field the model? No. Like his scroll reads, heal trogs, get a CP, your dudes can all run in charge, kind of like the Warcry from SPGL. Would you play that? Not if it was quadrants. Not if it was wholly within fucking quadrants, which is how you just don't play the game. It reminds me of that Hitchhiker's Guide from the Galaxy quote about those enemy ships approaching, and he was like, they're stacked like bricks aren't. That's what it's like to play with the Bad Moon. Like, when you're playing the game, you are in circles and horseshoe shapes around objectives and terrain and heroes. And then it's asking you to be wholly within fucking brick cubes that are random. Exactly, he's trash, you're saying on the table. Yes, yeah. That's what he does. He moves the moon to the center of the table so your army gets those rules, and then he is still bad. That's how bad he is. Honestly, it'd be like a good teaching moment or a takeaway for Games Workshop if they're working on Gloomspite Gets new book. Skragrot essentially has the entire Allegiance ability on his War Scroll, and he is still like definitely not playable. Quite possibly actually in trash because of it, now that I think about it. Alright, Swamp Boss Scumdrek. Is there a fun tier? This guy's fun. This is the stuff him in your bag dude, right? He's playable. This guy's fun. You have a bunch of other stuff you want to do, but this guy's fun. I think actually playable. Ahem. The scum. The actual scum. And he looks so sick, doesn't he? I love his helmet. Big fan. Looks cool. Gordrak, the Fist of Gork. Games Workshop, please. A Maw Crusher will literally always be better than you. And not even by a little bit. By like a lot. By a lot. Gobsprak, the Mouth of Gork. This dude has a really, really cool, fun, interesting rule, and I really like it. And it's attached to some Goomba that has a 5-up and a goofy-ass spell. I just don't know how to feel about this guy. Who's played with this thing? Is this actually playable, or is this please? Can we split GW please and GW please and worse than the generic version? My complaint is the same there. If you're strictly worse than the generic version, then it almost is like a Games Workshop. What are you trying to do here? But I think you bring up a good point, Leadfoot, because some of these are closer than others. Some of them are just like you would never, right? But for like Volturnos, it's worse than a Kellion King, but it's actually still good, and you might do it. And so I free him from his shackles of being simply probably worse than a Kellion King, and he actually gets into the tier he should be, because it's sort of an option. Research needed. This dude unbound you 5 times in a game and killed 3 casters, but you didn't have any shooting. Yeah, so it's, I don't know, what, I guess playable, right? He was shot full to dead by wait, what? By lead belchers? Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne.
That's impressive. Lead belchers actually did something against, alright, You're waiting for your vulture cavalry. So maybe this guy is just like, he's like playable fun as long as your opponent has no, and I mean no shooting. You're waiting for your vulture cavalry for cool boys. Also, you really want them to make the snatches just orcs with snatchapoles for stealing models. Similar to Gargant. Yeah, in the bag. Some of these you've judged the army more than the model itself. That's where they are. They're in the army. I can extract them a little bit, but that's the soup that they're swimming in, and that's where they belong. They're intrinsically linked. Somehow you won the game, but he was worth his points. It just felt, granted 1 unit of Belchers rolled really hot. They would have to roll insanity to kill them. Or maybe it wasn't just a one shooting phase or something like that. But if they didn't move and then all rolled 6 attacks, you would have to like roll in the 1 in a pentatrillion or something and then fail all your saves. Oh wait, maybe you had 4 of them. Oh, it was 12 of them. Okay, I was thinking of like 4, and I'm like, Jesus Christ. That's like 4 6s to their attack profile. Hit with everything. 24 coming in. Okay, he had 12 total lead belchers, and he was in undergun. Fair enough. I think this guy is in... So if your opponent has 0, and I mean 0 shooting, this guy's possibly playable. Kind of like a lesser Alariel or something like that. Or if your opponent doesn't have X, they're really good, but otherwise they get countered a little bit. A little bit or a lot. And now we have the Potato Zone. Epidemius, Tallyman of Nurgle. Start of your hero phase, if this unit is on the battlefield, roll the following number of dice for each of the following units and terrain features that are visible to this unit. 3 dice for each friendly Great Unclean One, so 3 dice. 2 dice for each friendly Plague Bearer host that has 10 or more models and each Feculent Narama in your army, so 2 dice. 1 dice for each other friendly Magakin of Nurgle unit, so 5 dice. For each 5-up, add 1 to the tally. Maximum tally of 7. Each new disease that is recorded allows you to reroll 1 ward roll. Casting roll, dispelling roll, and unbinding roll that you make. Jarrett. True, actually. I was thinking of a comment to make, and you made it. You did it. What are my points here? Epideme. 145. Yeah, he is the worst Tzeentch unit I've ever seen. That is true. Is he a wizard as well? I don't even fucking know about this thing. I remember when we went over the book initially, I think we decided no, we don't like him. I'm thinking about like re-rolling a casting roll. No. You're just not playing him. You weren't before. You weren't before. You weren't before, and you're just not now. Let him die. Retire him. Let him sleep. Let him sleep now. It's okay. Festus the Leech Lord is actually good. I will die on this hill. He's good. He's got a cool ability. He's got a good spell. And I mean good. He is a wizard. Am I being unreasonable by saying Festus is good? Of note for those who haven't seen Epidemius before, the tally never goes down. You get 7 total rerolls. Using a reroll does not reduce the tally and let you do more. Okay. I think Festus is good. He has good abilities. He has a good spell. He does stuff you want. Is he like super overpriced? I mean, besides normal Nurgle stuff. 150, okay. He is expensive, but he's like Nurgle expensive. That's what everything is. Yeah, how could you say no to that face? Bleh. Alright. The Glotkin. He has... Okay, Blightcreeg is fucking awesome. And the 5th time you read it, you'll realize that the buddy system that he targets doesn't have to be close to him. It can be anywhere. And it does all sorts of other shit. That's cool. It is not worth the points that you pay for it. It is way the fuck overpriced. But it is playable. It's just like the fun playable tier, I think. It's way overpriced. It does a really cool thing. It has really cool abilities. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't have that stupid +1 wound temporarily and then the thing shrinks again because it's kind of annoying to resolve and it could have been a better idea. But anyway, it's just expensive. Just like too expensive and blah blah blah. But it's playable. And fun. You can choose fun sometimes. Rodicus. Deluge of Nurgle is still pretty good. But you just want a Guo, right? Are people really playing Rodicus in 2022? And not reliving that thrice-fold befoulment stuff? Had to step away. Where did Volturnos rank? Good. He's probably worse than a normal Akelian King. But he's still good. And he's about to change, probably, because a bunch of stuff in IDK is probably just about to change, so kind of doesn't matter. Rodicus is just like a Gua, only worse, right? So, please. Too bad he can't take mount trades. Yeah, pretty much. That's the difference. It's that he can't take mount trades, and the mount trades are good. But you do get something for him. Like, he can't take mount trades, but you can target 3 units instead of 1 with Babe Ruth points at the outfield, you know, high tide ability. So there's actually a give or take there. And usually there's not a give and take. It's like the unique version is just bad. And the non-unique version is cheaper, hence better, and you can give it stuff. Right? How good is Guo? Okay. Pretty expensive, but good-ish. Poor Eltharion. Eltharion had a special aside. Eltharion had a special aside that I talked about. He doesn't deserve this. All of his rules, even his points cost and stuff, he deserves to be in good, or at least playable. But unfortunately, he's trapped in Lumineth, and you're not allowed to have fun if you play Lumineth. And so you can't afford to put him in an army. Because you have negative 250 points if you're trying to build a Lumineth army. Make him a 2-up save. GW, he's literally made of light. You could say immune to you'd print immune to damage on War Scroll. And people would struggle to fit it in their Lumineth army. I'm joking, but that's kind of what I mean about him. Alright, Captain, Gutrock D. Spume. This dude in Nurgle gives you an ambush that can bring Blight Kings along. Good. Make Light of Eltharion not unique, so you can take artifacts and spam him. There you go. Honestly, I haven't played against much Nurgle, but it feels like this thing is simply an auto-include in Nurgle. But then again, I thought it was before, and they got a lot slower. He can bring a bunch of stuff along now, more than just... Oh, can he bring more now? Hold up. Oh, just a... Oh, any mortal, not just Blight Kings. So, hold up. Glotkin is... I'm checking the tapes. Alright. Glotkin is a mortal. I forgot about that. So, my boy here, my man, can tag team champion Glotkin off of an ambush, which is fucking hilarious. I don't think he's S tier or anything, but he's strongly in good tier. And I like him. Yeah, Glotkin delivery service. Hell yeah, brother. Alright, that guy's cool. You're cool with me, dog. I'm sorry that you lost your tentacle grab weapon thing, which actually was pretty cool. But I like the model as well. Glotkin is a what now? Yes. This putrescent, monstrous, corpulent mass of 20,000 pounds of as tall as a 3-story garage demonic flesh is indeed mortal. This is Akira, or this is Tetsuo from the end of Akira, painted green, with demonic gifts. Mortal. No Daemon keyword detected. Alright, Morbidex Twiceborn. Dude, all of these 3 guys, what a glow up. They're still hella fucking ugly, but you know what I mean. These dudes are actually playable now, and I think at least one of them is possibly even good. This is crazy. I can never remember which one is which. This is the super defense one, Mordbeck's Twiceborn. Orgot's Dehaemon Spew is the free command guy, kind of attacky guy, and then Bloab Rotspawn is the one that's a wizard, so it's the one that you want, but it's balanced because his save is worse. They're actually all good. Bigger Demon Snub, Valkia or Glot. Valkia is a snub, Glot is stupidity. You could argue on all of them. They're, for Nurgle, they're all like reasonably costed. They have strong, obvious jobs that do them well. I'm kind of beside myself. They've never been good in all of Age of Sigmar, and now they actually do something. I would say that the one that's not the defensive one, but also can't cast spells, is the worst. I think it's Orgot's Daemon Spew. Hedeman's Nurglings. Oh, is it Morbidex? Hold up. You can return one slain model to one friendly Nurgling swarm within 7. This is the bad one. Or the weakest one, I would say. You would love to read the lore on the champion Nurgling thing. You just saw the fluff note. Yeah, a little note. A little Nurglo stuff. Although this guy doesn't really demand Nurglings. If you pretend Lord of Nurglings doesn't exist, at the end of the Battle Shock phase, heal half the wounds that have been allocated to this unit. 12-3 up, decent attacks. He's like kind of good besides that. I guess the friendly, yeah, Lord of Nurgle is probably better, right? The command point thing. You love Orgots, he's the most offensive and he has War Master. Yeah, War Master's probably good. It's just, I see a role for this guy and it's like some pin anvil thing that heals up. I think he's the worst though, but I think, honestly, they're all good. Alright, anyway, so, bloop, bloop, and bloop. I could argue them filling a role, any of them, although this one's probably the worst. Morbidex playable, are they too good? Yeah, I guess so. But still, this is a crown. This is huge. This is big. This is big. Big success. Horticulus Slimex. What do you do? You can reroll charge rolls for friendly Beasts of Nurgle wholly within 14, and +1 to hit with Beasts of Nurgle also. And you get a free Feculent Gnarlmaw, which Feculent Gnarlmaws now more than ever do really, really close to nothing. They give you +1 point, right? And that's about it. He's got reasonable stats. Are Beasts of Nurgle playable now? I don't know. I don't think he's trash. And he's just, for me, he's GW please. Like very, very high GW please. Beasts are playable are good. Snail is bad, low playable. He's not that bad. He's very slow. Beasts are good. And I'm hearing there's all sorts of stuff around there. To me, all of those things in chat, it's please. Help my boy out. Also, yeah, everything's 4-up move in Nurgle, just about. So good point, Mr. Dude. But he makes you think he's supposed to be taken with beasts, which is a sin? Okay. I don't know how to feel about this guy. Look at this little shop of horrors. Spiral action. So many references on this guy. I really like his model, even though he very much diverges from normal Nurgle. This was like one artist pulled in all of their brownie points, and they're like, can I just do whatever I want? And they're like, yeah. And the artist went crazy with it. Look at this dude. Dwarving says, good luck with the show. I just stopped by to say you like this sort of content. Keep up the tier list stuff. For 40k and fantasy is some people's passion. And helps people imagine their armies they build. Hey, thanks, Dwarving. I don't do much 40k because I don't know much about it. But thanks for liking my stuff. Next we have Klondike and Crazy. Crazy scared. I don't know what people's thoughts on these dragons are because actually I haven't looked into it too much. Jacoby redeemed ad time. Alright, get shot. See you in a minute. Apologies, but I won't say anything useful. I don't know what people's opinions on these dragons look like. I think I like Crazy better because he more does what he's supposed to, which is just go around and kill stuff and level up. And Krondi's kind of interesting, but dies. And they're both like hella fucking expensive. And just can't ever go in like a real list, really. But I think Fires of Vengeance is better than this stuff. Casts on a 9, no bonus. Pick one enemy within range and choose some minor effect. Not a minor effect, I guess. They're all like okay. They're all good-ish. His damage is absurd, but too pricey. They look like Spyro dragons. Big dislike. Crondius in Hallowheart is probably playable. At 600 though? Dropped into the casting dragon ones. He did a lot of work. Lots of support out of him. Then he got killed by Agakigortaja. I see. He for sure gets a casting bonus. Oh, does he? Did I miss it? Oh, add the Regalia bonus to casting rolls. Okay, I actually did miss it. Apologies. Big agree on the Spyro take. I've never played Spyro. Yeah, Regalia. Time up instead of uptime. Good one. Crazy is please, and Krondis is please. I guess technically the fact that somebody played them and they did something before dying. Like, maybe they are playable, but I just don't think so. At these points, Jesus Christ. And for exactly what they are, kind of a miss. Vandus Hammerhand. This dude is actually kind of good in a particular army right now, this exact second in Stormcast. Because Fulminators are good. Once per turn, at the start of the combat phase, you can pick one friendly Hammers of Sigmar Redeema unit holding than 12. Add one of the attacks characteristic. That's the shit. He is playable. But he looks kind of cool. Look at him. Big body, tiny head meme. Derpy pug dragon looking no leg ass. Anyway, he's playable. Vandus Hammer Chad. He's playable. How does his weapon only have Rend 1? Chadness. Hammer Chad. Yeah, Chad or Chad. There you go. He gives you a good buff. He's in. He's not for fighting. Neve Black Talon. Literally useless. Jesus Christ. And horrible artwork. I don't blame you, SJ Arcade. It's hard to find artwork of Neve Black Talon that's decent. She is a 6-inch move. Add D3 to the attack's characteristics of whirlwind axes if it made a charge move. You can run and still shoot. But you can't run and charge. You can run and shoot though. Liberator proxy. Small hero in a world where Eltharion isn't good. Please trim. She has to be GW, please. Her books are legit good. Also, Wind Rider. Instead of picking this unit to make a normal move or retreat, you can say that you will ride the Winds of Theric. If you do, remove this unit from the battlefield and set it up again on the battlefield more than 1 inch from all terrain features and objectives and more than 9 from enemy units. Which she can then proceed to, once there, do nothing. She does nothing. Actual trash. You're saving the good one for the waifu tier list? Oh, okay, fair enough. I mean, she can deep strike for free, which is maybe useful if she were, but she isn't, and so it's not. If she gave some... Imagine if she could... If she had a buff. Like an aura or anything. Hats off, sure. I'm going for Bipus. I'm doing it. I'm biping. Or a gun. She does have guns. She has bolt storm pistols. Gavriel Sureheart, aka Tommy Wiseau. The Tommy Wiseau face. Now, some people used him in the past to play Stormcast so they could deep strike and get charge bonuses and then charge against chaff and not do anything and lose. And then get evocators nerfed. But nowadays, you can reroll charge rolls for this unit. In addition, once per turn, this unit can issue Forward to Victory for free, except only to a Hammers of Sigmar unit. If the unmodified save roll for an attack made with melee weapon targets unit 6, attack suffers 1 mortal wound after all its attacks have been resolved. And if the unmodified hit roll for an attack made with this weapon is 6, it suffers 2 mortal wounds and the attack sequence ends. He is trash. Amazing. Next. Gardas Steel Soul. This dude is the Hallowed Knights champion. Friendly Hallowed Knights units wholly within 12 have a ward of 5 up, which makes them good, which makes Hallowed Knights worth playing at all. And without him, it would not be. Simply put. Also, he has, once per battle, at the start of your charge phase, you can declare Saintly Assault, and you can reroll charges for Friendly Hallowed Knights, and add +1 to the attack's characteristics. This man, Gardas Buff Soul, he is the strongest back in the mortal realms because he's carrying an entire storm host on it and lifting it from total nothingness to an actual army. He is fucking S tier, even though he's not quite S tier actually, he's just good. But he is the single reason his entire sub-faction exists. And so even though he isn't quite S tier, really, he actually gets S tier because of what it means. What it means to have a back this strong. These lats are unbelievable. He's up there with Radikar the Based. He fucking makes his army. Without him, the entire storm host crumbles and becomes something that no one even knows the name of. They don't even remember your name. Anyway. Celestant Prime, aka Primetime. He is a Chad. He has a 4-up ward. He can auto 12 charge. He does okay-ish. Kind of not the greatest damage. and Comet Strike is sweet. He is like Bastion Carthelos, only strictly better, probably high in the running for like the thing you choose as your 300-point hero in Stormcast if you were thinking about playing one of those. He's good. The man whose model came out too soon? Yes. And his model came out too soon and ended up looking like Phase 1 Stormcast. And so he is a fat cube with super thick, like, awful, gross star stuff, like, swirling around him. It just, I actually hate the model. And he has D6s on his knee pads, and it's obvious they did that on purpose, and I'm not laughing. It's fucking dumb. And Gul'Maraz is tiny and stupid. But if you like the model, that's your opinion, man. Don't worry about it. I don't actually care. We're Twitch acting. Anyway, he's fucking sweet. Aventus Firestrike, long mocked as one of the worst named heroes in the whole game. Is Aventus Firestrike like suddenly amazing in something because it's 3rd edition and 12 wounds, 3-up save, 14-inch move wizard, even though all of his abilities are fucking garbage? He's a 2-caster. Is he like somehow, somewhere playable? I don't think so. Unless there's some crazy combo I'm wondering where he's 325 too. I mean, he's a hero monster with a 3-up ward, and he's a double caster. Just based on that, he should be playable. Like, just based on that, in 3rd edition. His mount looks nice for conversions, yeah. For the longest time, this guy was so fucking bad. But the edition changed, and he's playable now, I think. As much as it pains me. He buffs Fulminators. Right, but is another 300 points worth of Fulminators just better? Regular guy is better because mount trait. There we go, thank you. Wait, does regular guy have a 3-up save, though? Or does regular guy have a 4-up save? I might have to check the tapes.
And we take a look at the tail of the tape.
Some of them may be involved with exotic stuff, like dark matter. Some.
An ABC News Brief brought to you by Michelob Light Beer. Now.
Alright, normal guy. Lord Arcanum on Terralion. Nope, it's a 3-up save. I remember your mount traits being bad, but I guess, honestly, it's still fine. I'll just bottom of playable. He's playable. The edition changes many things, right? Previously laughable things are kind of almost okay, I guess. Bastion Carthelos, playable. He's in here somewhere, right? There we are. Playable, worse than Yndrasta, worse than Sulstan Prime, but playable. Lotan being unplayable is something that just doesn't feel right. I mean, he's rerolling 1s to hit on Reavers. Reavers are good now. Thralls might be even good now, and he's buffing them. So, you know, times, they are a-changin'. Yndrasta, good. Honestly, a little overrated, if I'm going to be perfectly honest. But she's good. She's good, especially if you're using all of her synergies. If you're not, you should play a Prime instead. But she's good. Looks great, too. Oh, here's my boy here. He goes below Lady. And she goes down here because she's extra. Best of the big 3, though. Yep. Yndrasta, best of the big 3. Sulstan Prime, close second. Bastion Carthelos, strong step down, but still playable. And finally, some guy. And finally, some fucking guy. H. Rothgorn and Associates. He is, how many points? Dealer? 170, which is a lot. But although you pay a lot, you don't really get a lot. He has a really cool trap ability that I wish they would explore more in Beastclaw Raiders when they come out with a new book. Because I like the hunter dynamic. They probably won't do this because they've been simplifying things rather than expanding on them. He does no damage in melee or ranged. He has 7 wounds and a 5-up save, so he dies to everything. He has a cat friend who fucking sucks. He has Master of Ambush, so he can be set up in ambush, but you can only bring Frost Sabers and his stupid man trappers with him. He's essentially completely useless. However, he can be a free battle tactic once a game. Once per game, you get the have 2 units on your opponent's side of the table battle tactic. Because it's him, it's 1 Frost Saber, and it's Hrothgorn's man trappers. However, you're playing Beastclaw Raiders. So you're probably going to have 2 units on your opponent's side of the table, and those 2 units might even be monsters. In which case you get a bonus victory point. And so he's not good even for that. Also, if you're trying to unlock Frost Saber Battle Line, you would just choose a hunter who's cheaper than him. He is trash. Although, since technically you can take him, I guess, for a battle tactic, I'll put him in GW Plays just to be nice. Alright, great work. Thanks for the first unique named character for Beastclaw Raiders. I'm feeling noticed by Senpai. Give up for the Maw tribes where your only named dudes are Underworld's warbands, yeah. Negative damage, OP, yeah. Which factions didn't have named characters? Some of the factions we had to cheat. And my army is one of them. They don't have any proper, actual named characters. They got some random ones in an Underworld war game, or Underworld warband for some other game. So, like, they invented a new one, technically, and just gave it to us. So, like, does it count? Maybe. You can use Hrothgorn as a stand-in. Yeah, you can use him as it counts as, for sure. I don't particularly like his model. I think he looks like a big halfling. It's that weird face, and he doesn't even have a gut plate, it looks like. It's weird. I just don't like his model. But the old hunter is way worse, so what are you going to do? At least this thing looks kind of like a saber-toothed tiger. So that's a step up. Ahem. Forgot FEC Underworld's one. I mean, no, yeah, I see right here. This might be a gut plate. It's just hard to tell. His teeth are upside down. That's what a saber-toothed tiger is not supposed to look like. These are the incisors. I don't know how this thing is supposed to eat. Like a warthog or something. Yeah, SJ's revenge for today's TTS game. True. Alright, there it is. There's a bunch of movement I could do here. I could put a lot of this stuff in trash if I wanted to. But I'm feeling particularly generous here. So, named character AOS tier list. What is actually OP? Marathi, Fox Guy. Every single other thing is competitively on balance wise fine. It's really just these two that are quote unquote OP. Oh yeah. Here, let me enhance a little bit to help you out. We have a little bit in S tier. Just unequivocally excellent stuff. We have stuff in good tier that's super solid, not auto-include, don't have to play it, but just good stuff. A bunch of playables that are I mean, they're playable. They're your pet units. They're the things that you play, even though they're not the best, but you can make some good use out of them, and you just play around the flaws. It's fine. And then there's some GW please, where you're kind of wondering what they were thinking for some of these. Then there's the actual trash, and then there's Shalaxi Hellbait. Vordry only and playable? Yes. Yeah, I think so. I think so. So what should be the standard that GW should meet? S tier, good, playable. It kind of depends on what they want to do. They're the ones writing the rules. Do they want every Idoneth Deepkin player to own a Volturnos? Do they think that every STD player should own an Archaeon, or that every Idoneth, or that every Khaine player should own a Marathi? It's kind of like what their business acumen is. Should these things just be purchased by the armies that can play them? It's like for them to decide, I guess. Personally, I like named unique characters to be exactly in good tier and below, like probably none in S tier even. I like for my named unique characters to be at the level of optimal best in slot minus one step, like one step down. It shouldn't feel like an auto include. You shouldn't feel bad not playing it unless you like the lore and the name and everything, and maybe whatever little tidbit custom rule it has. And you can be just fine. It shouldn't feel like a punishment not to play it, but it also shouldn't feel like a punishment to play the thing that you really like either. If things creep into S tier or dip down into playable, it's not the end of the world, but there should be nothing here. There's no excuse for this. And there's no excuse for this lasting any more than like 3 months or whatever. Until the next balance update. Same with all this stuff. Judging by the spell lore list is never going to see the light of day. Hey, sorry, SJ Arcade. I tried to hurry. God models should be auto-own, but not auto-include. Yeah, well, auto-own is because how awesome the sculpt is. Like, you should feel like, I can't help but buy this thing because Be'lakor looks so fucking sick. I may or may not play him, but I, like, can't help myself or whatever. So Texas is perfect. He's only good. Oh yeah, I had a special speech about Texas, so that's an exception. Same with Eltharion. I had a special speech about that. Lumineth is super fucked up in various ways. So big asterisk over here. Oh, you just mean the spell lore tier list would be like 3 shows? Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we were, by the way, for people wondering, we were thinking about doing a spell lore tier list, but, dude, every spell lore in the whole game, and I'm actually talking about each of the spells, that might be like 4 shows. I don't know. I don't know if people could sit around for the whole thing. I'm trying to figure out a way to condense it so that it could actually be watchable. Ahem. Maybe just endless spells? Well, then that'd be easy. None of them. Umbral spell portal sometimes. After that, that's basically it. Easy. Give me a poppy out.
Yeah.
Whoever's bright idea it was to take a bunch of endless spells that no one played, double their cost, and halve their damage, and triple the ways people can get rid of them, it's like they didn't want to sell them. I guess I don't know what's going on there. But it didn't work out. Oh yeah, there's the Viper for Dock. That one's okay. It's good at blocking lanes, even though you can move over it now, and it can one-shot heroes, which is actually kind of nice. That's also an exception. There's 2 of them, I guess. Got good work in on Cargo Lord. Nice. Hey, I hope you guys got some Hobay in there. In which case, dude, it's like, ooh, 5.5 hours. I gotta rest my voice. I'm gonna make some hot cocoa or something like that. Get some Behemoth Typhoons in there. Chill out a little bit. Speaking of chilling out, always remember.
It's only a game. Why you have to be mad?
Always remember,